Hello friends. Today's video I'm going to be talking about body dysmorphia. Sorry for the crappy quality. Both of my batteries for my camera died, so I'm currently just filming on my laptop, but I digress. Body dysmorphic disorder is a mental health disorder in which you can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance, a flaw that appears minor or can't be seen by others. That's a big part. But you may feel so embarrassed, ashamed, and anxious that you may avoid many social situations. This has been prevalent in my life ever since I can remember. I remember being in preschool, being 4 years old, and thinking I was fat. I had body dysmorphia. I was not fat. When I was out with my mother, sometimes I would notice people were staring at me, or maybe it was just me thinking that they were staring at me and they just glanced at me, and God forbid someone does that. But I was horrified and I had horrible anxiety, and that anxiety and dysmorphia led me to believe that I was just hideous. And I remember telling my mother that people were staring at me because I'm ugly. And she was just like, no, people are staring at you because you're beautiful. But, I think she was like kind of kissing my booty hole. But it was a nice gesture from her. So, good mom. Body dysmorphia just grew and grew throughout the years. I had it through elementary school, into middle school, into high school, into today. As I stated in a previous video, I went on my first diet when I was 8 years old, but that didn't last very long because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and all I did really was drink a lot of Gatorade. So I don't know where I got that idea, but it didn't really work though, and I just sort of gave up and was like, ah, screw it. And for a while there, because I was so young and naive, the body dysmorphia wasn't super intense, but it still bugged me. And I started puberty when I was 9 years old, so I was growing boobs when none of the other girls were growing boobs. And that was like a huge, huge thing for me because I was just like, there's something wrong with me. I'm different. This is not okay. I need to look like all the other girls, and especially the skinny girls. But once I got into middle school, the body dysmorphia got pretty bad. I did gain some weight. I wasn't eating very well and I wasn't really paying attention, and I did gain some weight, and I wasn't considered overweight, but I was at the upper end of the BMI scale, or whatever you call it. And when I stepped on the scale one night, I was absolutely horrified at the number on the scale. So I went on a really hardcore diet. I basically just drank water all the time, didn't eat much, and I lost about 20 pounds, maybe more. And I noticed that, hey, my legs look kind of good. I should keep this up. And that was one thing that I did like about myself. But everything else, I was still not okay with. I thought I had the fattest arms. I thought I had the fattest stomach. Having huge boobs did not help at all. So I continued that diet of drinking a lot of water, and I also would eat all my food at once and then starve myself for the rest of the day. So I kind of wasn't really losing weight. I was maintaining the weight because I was eating all my calories, but I was just eating them all at once, which is a form of bulimia. But while all of this was going on, I didn't know that I had body dysmorphia. I just didn't know that I had it. I thought all my negative thoughts about myself were correct, and I didn't see that as a problem. I saw myself as a problem. And it wasn't until later on in high school when the bulimia showed up and I lost a bunch of weight. I probably weighed like 110 pounds, and I'm 5'5", and I do carry a lot of weight in my boobs naturally. So I had those going on, but the rest of my body just looked sickly. And I look back at the pictures now and I'm absolutely horrified at how I looked, knowing how I felt. I would tell my friends how fat and ugly I felt, and they would try to reassure me and say, like, no, you actually look horrifyingly thin, but sure, dude, go ahead with that. And I didn't believe them. I was just like, no, they're just making this shit up. Like, they're just trying to make me feel better. But I was I was really, really, really skinny there for a little while, and the body dysmorphia does not go away. No matter how much weight you lose, it's still gonna be there. And I noticed that when I was at my skinniest, the body dysmorphia was the strongest. And it can become a cycle of losing weight, thinking you're even fatter than you were before, losing more weight, thinking that you were even fatter than you were before. And then, God forbid, I put on like 5 pounds and I'm still super skinny. And I, my dog is banging her head against my door. But as the years went on, I fluctuated in weight, and the bulimia, you know, got worse, got better, got worse, got better. It was, a wonderful, beautiful cycle. And the dysmorphia was always there. Over the years, when I was fluctuating in weight and the bulimia was, becoming a cycle for me, I'd gain a little weight, I'd lose weight, I'd gain weight, I'd lose weight, because it's not always a win-win when you have bulimia. It doesn't mean that you're gonna lose all the weight and be as beautiful and sickly as you want to be. There's always going to be a little bit of food in your stomach, and if you eat a lot of food and throw it up, there's still some left over that you're really not going to have access to and getting out. Your body is also in starvation mode, and around that time is when I would put on the weight even though I was throwing up or not eating. My body was basically eating itself, and so I never seemed to reach that goal weight that I was going for. But the dysmorphia was always there. I always thought that my legs were too big, always thought that my stomach was too big, always thought that my arms were too big, always thought that my boobs were too big. And it's still something I struggle with today, and it connects with body checking. The reason you body check is because you have body dysmorphia. And when you're body checking and seeing these problem areas, it's all tied to body dysmorphia, because generally there are no problem areas going on. So it all connects. But that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions about this topic, you're welcome to message me. As you've seen, I'm very open now about talking about these things because I think it's very important to educate people on what's going on and also make people know that they're not alone. If I can help at least one person with this video just to know that they're not alone and maybe have some insight on what they're doing and how they're feeling, it could possibly help, and it could possibly end the shitty cycle of body dysmorphia and body checking and eating disorders. They all connect people. So, yeah, that's it, y'all. Thank you for listening. Okay, bye.